For the last few months, PolitiFact has been researching the January 6th riot in Washington, D.C. to find out more about what led those accused of storming the Capitol there in the first place. Hey everyone, it's Samantha with PolitiFact. Our team has pored over court filings and other information for hundreds of defendants facing charges related to the riot to get a better picture of who was involved and why. We know that misinformation, particularly about the 2020 presidential election, played a central role in what happened that day. But we also found personal stories about everyday people falling victim to conspiracy theories and widespread lies. That's what happened with Jeffrey Sabol, a geophysicist from Colorado. He has 3 children and loves to snowboard, and has been described by friends as intelligent and thoughtful. But he also got himself caught up in something else. Wearing a dark helmet, a teal backpack, and a 2-way radio and earpiece, Sabol wrested a baton from an officer who had fallen to the ground, according to court documents. Prosecutors say he then helped drag a second officer down the Capitol steps. Days later, police in New York pulled Sabol over for driving erratically. He told officers that he had been fighting tyranny in the DC Capitol and said he had attempted to kill himself. Police would later learn that Sabol had gone to Boston, where he had planned to board a flight to Switzerland. But when he spotted police at the airport, Sabol panicked. He rented a car and headed south, flinging his phone out the window as he drove. Along the way, he had attempted suicide. Sabol now waits in a DC jail, facing 8 charges, including felony charges for assaulting police officers. If convicted, he could be sentenced to a maximum of 20 years in prison. Behind Sabol's decision to go to Washington was a fundamental belief in something that was not true, that the election was stolen. The falsehood was repeated for months by former President Donald Trump across social media and on pro-Trump cable channels.
They truly believed that the election had been stolen and that there was massive voter fraud. People don't think they're spreading lies. They truly believe. And in some cases, they experienced these things. It was a false experience because they had been told to expect that they were going to be cheated, and then they went to the polls and then they perceived that they were somehow being cheated. And so these are very powerful. It's a very powerful kind of propaganda.
In our review of about 430 defendants arrested through June 1st, we found that many saw their actions as patriotic. In about half of the cases, the court documents showed misinformation as a major influence. There was a music teacher in Washington, D.C. who, under a pseudonym, amplified false conspiracy theories on his podcast and YouTube channel, which included that the Sandy Hook school shooting never happened, that former NBA star Kobe Bryant is still alive, and that the earth is flat. There was a former Olympic swimmer from Colorado who posted on Facebook that the election was a brazen assault on our republic. While there were a handful of women, most rioters facing charges were white men 35 years or older. The crowd included business owners and white-collar workers, and between 40 and 65 current or former law enforcement or military members. Several came with organized right-wing militia groups that had prepared for violence in advance with recruitments and trainings. Some were QAnon supporters. Many were active on social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or Snapchat. They also used Parler, Discord, and Telegram. There and elsewhere, the defendants shared sprawling beliefs rooted in misinformation about child pedophilia, gun confiscation, and the COVID-19 pandemic. To find out more about how January 6th happened, read our investigative report, which is linked to in the description. We'll also be reporting more about these events as the year goes on. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. We hope you like our work and maybe can even support it. PolitiFact donors help keep this service free for everyone. If you would like to help, go to politifact.com/donate.